to the Paranatural Podcast. My name is Ben.
And I'm Ben.
Well, that would be confusing. He's Jake, and we are so glad to have you with us tonight as we talk about the Van Meter Visitor. Jacob, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Yeah, all right. How are you?
I'm doing great. How was your holidays?
Yeah, how are yours?
About the same, it's just a whole lot of hanging out, really.
Yeah.
Which is not bad. Everybody needs a break from time to time.
Yeah, hanging out. You don't need to wear clothes over the holidays.
I'm pretty sure I wore sweatpants most of the time.
Were they gray?
Actually, yes.
Gotta love it.
I didn't leave the house, so it's fine.
Oh. I'm pretty sure I wore blue jeans like always.
Well,
Except for one day it got like up to 60 something here and I wore shorts.
It got down to cold as fuck here.
Yeah, it like one day it was the real feel was like -17. And then 2 days later it's up in the 50s.
Yeah, it was like -30 here.
Oh,
and then 2 days later it was like 40.
Did that blizzard hit you?
We didn't get a lot of snow. We got some. We got enough to say we got snow. Worst part was it was so cold. There wasn't shit they could do about it, and it was like underneath the snow was just a sheet of fucking ice.
Yeah.
So
my mom said they got like 3 feet within a couple of days.
Yeah, we got, 6 or 8 inches worth. I mean, not like a shit ton.
About average 6 inches.
Yeah, about 6 inches. But the snow plows, it drifted quite a bit. There was a couple foot drift behind my fucking truck.
Southern Michigan's so windy.
Yeah. Well, there's no trees down here in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, up north we got trees. Down here we got mountains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where I'm at, we got cornfields, and that doesn't stop the wind much.
Yeah, especially in the winter.
Not at all. But we survived. We made it through. It was fine.
I got River some sweaters for Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah. You get anything good?
No.
All right.
I mean, no. We didn't really do like adult gift stuff. My brother got us a Chinese buffet, thing.
Oh.
So.
Oh, that was nice.
So that's not
like
bad
the
at
entire
all.
restaurant, or?
Well, yeah. We just bought me. That'd be cool. I wouldn't know what to do with it because I'm white as fuck, but. Anyway, we hope you guys all had a really good holiday season.
Yeah.
You're ready to get back into the swing of life.
Yeah, back onto the. You guys listen to us all the time.
They never stopped.
Oh, I love them.
Even during that, we were an escape for some of these people during the holidays, and we're glad to be.
Yeah, that's great. Great spooky shit.
So I guess other than that, before we get into things, if you enjoy our content, please don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcast if you can, and if you can't, share the show with a friend.
But I don't see why they couldn't.
Well, because not everybody can get Apple Podcasts.
I give a 5-star on Audible because.
Well, yeah, you can give 5-star ratings on other places. I just can't see them. If you do it on Apple, I can actually see it.
Yeah.
And if you give us a really good review, maybe I'll read it on the show.
Or you can just do it on the website at www.paranaturalpodcast.com.
Hey, finally learned the website. Holy shit.
Yeah, I still need to update my shit. I'm still 3 gnomes in a trench coat.
And will be forever.
Till I change it.
All right, Jacob, you got anything else before we get started?
No, just thank you for listening over to the holidays, and thank you for the entire year of support. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'll second that. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, and also sorry for talking with my hands so much. I just went through and listened to a couple, and holy shit, thanks for putting up with me. Now I got it glued to my face.
Duct taped it to his chin.
Yep, that's where it is.
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about the Van Meter visitor. Jacob, have you ever heard those words put together before?
No.
Are you familiar with the town of Van Meter, Iowa?
No.
Yeah, not many people are. And that is because Van Meter, Iowa is a town that is located a little bit west of Des Moines and directly south of Interstate 80. To call that town small would be an understatement. As of the 2020 census, the population was 1,484. So
Aww.
it is tiny. Like, my work employs half the number of people that live in Van Meter, Iowa. And that was 2020. At the time of the events that we're going to talk about tonight, the population was about 400. Now, I'm bringing that up for a very specific reason, and that reason is a lot of the people, as you'll hear, these are well-known, well-respected people in the community, and in a town of 400, if you're well-known and well-respected, you are not going to make some bullshit up. That's why I'm bringing that up. The population size is tiny. Everybody knows everybody in that town.
Everybody.
So, the first sighting of the Van Meter visitor occurred at 1 a.m. on Tuesday, September 29th of the year 1903. Yeah, so there's like a 120-year-old little story here. And what happened on that night was that U.G. Griffith, who was a respected businessman in the community with a very fancy name, saw a light. And the light was moving around on the roof of one of the downtown buildings on top of one of the businesses. He said it looked like a spotlight or a searchlight. So it was kind of a pretty bright fucking light. But we're talking about 1903 tech. And I looked it up. Flashlights and shit were not a thing. Really? They were invented in 1899. The patent was put out. So in 1903, we're probably talking lantern light here. Most people were not familiar with flashlights yet. But anyway, U.G. Griffith saw a bright light on the roof and thought it might be a burglar, which I get. Okay, right? So he goes out to investigate. And as he gets close to the light and the building that it was on, the light jumps to another roof. A roof across the street.
Oh, that's a good jump.
It's a pretty good fucking jump. And then it just disappears. Just gone out of sight.
Battery died.
Probably weren't very good in 1903. But that was like the first sighting. And even though he didn't really get a good look at whatever the hell it was, he just saw a light. It was definitely kind of strange. You know, to see a light up on the roof at that time of night, for it to jump across the street. You can there's probably people that can do it, not my fat ass, but there's probably people that can jump across the street, but that's a good fucking
to
jump.
Another building.
Maybe. I do it all the time in Assassin's Creed. But anyway. Fucking Ivor and shit. But that was the first sighting. It was pretty nothing to it, but definitely weird sighting. Now, the very next night, on Wednesday, the 30th of September, Dr. Alcott, who was the town doctor, was sleeping in a room in his office. Around 1 a.m. again, he was woken by a very bright light shining through the window and right into his face. Now, the doc thought the same thing that U.G. Griffith did, and he thought there was a prowler. But Doc was like, Doc's a bad motherfucker. He was ready. So he grabbed his handgun and ran outside. And he saw a humanoid creature with bat-like wings, and it had a horn on its head, and that's where the light was coming from. Now, he says humanoid, and I think what he means by that is like it was standing up straight and had like two legs. There are pictures of this thing. I'll share them, of course, in the Facebook group and on our Instagram and shit. But it looks like a pterodactyl in the pictures.
Aww.
But if you see something in the dark, like standing straight, it's kind of humanoid-ish, right?
I'm pretty sure Scooby-Doo caught that in the second movie.
Yeah, there was pterodactyls.
Yeah, the pterodactyl ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, now we know where they came from. Van Meter, Iowa. Anyway, Doc fired 5 shots at the thing from what is said to be relatively close range, and the shots had no effect. He fired 5 times. The thing was just still standing there, And Doc, speaking of Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Dooed his ass the fuck out of there. He said, fuck this, and he ran. Now, I know a little bit about firearm history and technology. In 1903, most likely Doc had a 32 caliber revolver. 32 calibers, not that much. But if you hit something 5 times with it, you should get a reaction.
Yeah.
But he did not, so he ran the fuck away.
He would survive.
Yep, he sure would. Shoot it, didn't work, run. He's good.
Yeah.
Now, again, the next night, I don't know what happened to the creature after Doc shot at it, other than Doc ran away. I don't know where the creature went. But the very next night, Clarence Dunn, who was the local banker, had heard about Doc sighting for sure, and maybe Griffiths. And he was still like, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to be ready. So Dunn sets up in the local bank because he's still thinking maybe it's just burglars and Doc didn't know what he was seeing or whatever. So he sets up a night watch in the bank, and he brings a shotgun. So he's chilling out at the bank with a shotgun. And again, around 1 a.m., he hears a, quote, strangling noise outside.
Nah.
I don't know. If that's the sound the creature makes, I don't know. Like
Someone was watching porn.
But I guess, I don't know. But anyway, he's like,
what the fuck was that?
So, but before he can check it out, he gets hit full in the face by a blinding light through the bank window. Right? The light just comes on, boom, right in his face.
Tint wasn't invented.
Not yet. No, one. Now, real quick, the light like switches off. And then it comes back on, but it's like across the room. And it's like moving back and forth, doing like a scanning type motion before it moves back and lands right on Dunn.
Uh-oh.
Right? Dunn said he could see, quote, some kind of great form, end quote, behind the light. And apparently that's enough for a banker with a shotgun because he shot at the damn thing through the bank window.
What a man.
Like through it. He didn't open the fucking window. He shot the window out trying to shoot this creature with a 12 gauge shotgun.
Which, unlike the 32 caliber, you hit it once,
gonna
you're gonna
do
know.
something. At that
Yeah.
close of a range, even birdshot is gonna fucking do some damage, right?
Yeah.
Or should.
Tear it in half.
It should, but it didn't.
Oh.
I mean, the creature took off, but it didn't kill it. There was no blood, no nothing.
Just enough to scare it.
Just enough. Yeah, it just took off.
Ugh.
In the morning, he did find 3-toed prints in the dirt outside the bank window, which he took plaster casts of, but I don't know what happened to those. That's just, that part of this story like really trips me out because he shot through the goddamn window.
Yeah.
And people knew that he shot through the window. You're not going to make that shit up.
No.
I mean, like, windows are expensive now. In 1903, they were even harder to get. And this wasn't like a big plate glass, like storefront window. I mean, it was a big window, but it was like a paned window and whatever.
But back then, every single one would be custom made.
And expensive.
Yeah.
And there are pictures of the bank, which I'll share, just so everybody can see the kind of like shit that he shot through. And it wasn't like a big, like I said, fancy window or anything, but it'd be expensive to fix no matter what. And even if he had insurance, like, could you imagine explaining that shit to your insurance adjuster?
Yeah, I saw some great form behind this blinding light, and I shot it, and it just skedaddled away.
Be like, look, progressive guy, here's what happened. All right. There was a monster with a headlight. I shot at him. Okay, I was scared.
I was scared. Well, Luckily, you're covered.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Are you in good hands?
We've seen a thing or two. Anyway, that should be one of their commercials. Anyway, so again, the very next night, word had spread throughout town by now because, hey, there's only 400 fucking people. If you tell one guy, they all know.
Right.
The hardware store owner, a man by the name of O.V. White, was sleeping in his room above the hardware store. So he had like an apartment, second floor above the hardware store. He's up there, he's sleeping, when he was woken by a metallic rasping sound.
Come on.
The monster makes weird noises, okay? Yeah. So Mr. White grabbed his shotgun and looked out the window. What he saw was the creature sleeping on the crossbeam of a nearby telephone pole.
So the metallic rasping, was that snoring?
I guess that's what we're supposed to take from that. Maybe he was having a bad dream.
I mean, River makes some weird noises when she's dreaming, so.
I mean.
All right, metallic rasping.
Metallic rasping. That might be a thing.
Okay, all right.
So he sees it. It's sitting still. He's not blinded by its headlight, horn light, whatever it is. Remember, it's got a horn.
Oh, yeah.
So he takes real careful aim. And according to the papers at the time, Mr. White was known to be a good marksman. Like, other people in town told the newspaper, yeah, we know this guy can shoot. I don't know if he was a hunter or a competition shooter or what, but he could shoot. So he takes real careful aim. He pulls the trigger. The shot has no effect other than to wake the creature up. Probably in not a great mood.
Well, just the noise alone would wake someone 500 yards away.
Well, it does wake up another human. The creature, I don't know if it was the noise or the pellets or whatever hitting it, whatever, it wakes up.
I don't like this thing.
Now, the creature had a very strange reaction other than just being woke up to being shot. Okay.
Flipped him off, right?
No, even weirder. It didn't fly away. It didn't flip him off. It didn't cuss him out. It didn't die.
Aw.
In retaliation, the creature emitted a powerful odor that was strong enough to overpower White and knock him unconscious.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, it farted at him.
He scared the shit out of it.
That is not a normal reaction to being shot, creature.
That's a bat pterodactyl skunk?
A bad pterodactyl skunk with a headlight.
With a headlight. And metallic rasping.
You know, on this show, we have seen some weird reactions to being shot. Okay? That might be the weirdest yet.
Yeah. How dare you?
Hey, fuck you. Like, goddamn. Now, aside from waking up the creature and forcing it to shit, the shot woke White's neighbor, Sidney Gregg. Mr. Gregg ran outside to see what the fuck was going on.
But smell what the fuck was going on.
And what he saw was the monster, his word, coming down the telephone pole, using its beak like a parrot. Yeah, if you've never seen a parrot like come down a pole or something, what they'll do is like hold onto it with their beak and then like move their feet down and then reach their beak down a little further and grab it and then like go down. It's a real weird thing. Like, check it out on YouTube or something if you've never seen it, because it is a very unique way of descending a fucking pole.
Yeah.
But that's apparently
Especially if you got wings.
I mean, right? He could have just like floated down or flew down or something. No, he descends like, but parrots got wings too, and they still climb down shit that way.
I know. I'm calling parrots out too.
Ah, okay.
They're weird.
That's fair. Fuck you, parrots. Why are you so weird?
Damn parrots. You can talk, but you can't find a feasible way to go down. Come on.
You know, this is tangentially related, but kind of not. The first dude to hear a parrot talk was probably not okay for like several days.
Probably
just
not.
throwing that out there.
Just imagine the first guy who heard a goat scream.
Ah, what the fuck was that? But yeah, the first guy to hear a parrot talk. Anyway, just think about that. Just consider that.
Poor guy.
All right. Anyway, back to Mr. Greg here.
Yep, Mr. Greg.
So after he watched the creature like parrot down the telephone pole, he saw it stood down on the ground and it stood straight up. And Greg said it was at least 8 feet tall. Yes, Jacob.
Did Mr. Greg smell it?
He did not say.
Oh.
Which is,
Yeah.
maybe that thing can well aim its farts.
You got the fart gun from Despicable Me.
Maybe he was upwind. I don't know.
I don't know. That powerful of an odor. I feel
You would
like
think it would linger a little.
Definitely
You know?
linger.
Maybe it was real windy that day. I don't know.
Yeah. He just got a full blast right in the mouth.
Right through the window. Bam.
Then he was metallic rasping.
He had to power wash that room. I don't know, like
Had to power wash his face, probably.
hang up some air fresheners in there. A Glade plug-in or 12. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's got one of those black ice car fresheners hanging from his face.
Yep. For the rest of his life.
Yeah.
He had to burn the clothes he was wearing. Just burn the hardware store. It stinks in here.
And that's what he told the papers. My face may smell like it, but my head is not firmly planted in my ass, sir.
Right. Yeah. Can you imagine how much it would have stunk if it knocked him out?
I can't barely smell anything. Like, yeah.
I mean, dog farts, cat farts, they're pretty fucking bad. But I have never felt like I was going to become unconscious from the stench.
I've been sprayed point blank in the face by a skunk several times.
It's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant, but
you don't get passed out from it.
no, it was basically a fuck.
Yeah.
And leave it alone.
Yep. Give that a minute to clear out. Yeah. No, this knocked him the fuck out. Anyway. Greg said the creature was at least 8 feet tall when it stood straight up.
It's a big pterodactyl.
So at least not 7.
What?
I mean, 8.
Holy
we got 8.
Shit.
We got 8 feet this time. The creature turned on its headlight, did the searching motion thing again for just a moment, and then took off flying in the direction of a nearby abandoned coal mine. So, because they saw it head towards the coal mine. The very next day, people were out there around the coal mine looking around, and they heard strange sounds coming from inside the old coal mine. Now, nobody went in there to look, but they heard some shit coming out. One local described the sounds as, quote, though Satan and a regiment of imps were coming forth for a battle, end quote.
God, I loved how they talked back then.
I know, right? It was so much better.
It was.
Just
like,
so much more poetic.
yeah, nowadays it would be, I heard some shit.
There was some real scary noises coming up out the old coal mine.
Satan and a regiment of imps.
Satan and a regiment of imps coming forth for a battle.
What does that sound like?
Apparently rasping metal and gagging noises. I don't know. But anyway, that night, the creature, along with another one of its kind, some people say it was a same size one, some say it was like a smaller one. I think it was probably a smaller one, like a baby one. Either way, baby creature. Baby headlights creature. But anyway, they were seen coming out of the mine and then flying off into the night. So somebody told somebody, and a bunch of dudes armed with enough firepower to, quote, have sunk the Spanish fleet, end quote, went out to the mine for an ambush. So, like, the whole damn town's worth of guys grabbed their fucking guns and went out there. Okay? Apparently, they did not comprehend the fact that these fucking things are bulletproof.
Well, that's on the badassery scale of the dude shooting the Jersey Devil with a cannon.
Yeah, we're getting there. Only this is like the whole ass fucking town. And I don't think they had a cannon, but, probably a bunch of shotguns, rifles and shit.
do the job.
Fucking, in most
Normally.
situations, you goddamn right they do.
Yeah.
But good 12 gauge do a whole lot. Shortly before dawn, the creatures came back to the mine, and the posse opened fucking fire. But of course, the creatures were immune to the projectiles and things, and all they did was emitted their terrible odor and crawled their asses back in the fucking mine. So, yeah, these things got unloaded on, and all they did was fart and go back home.
How dare you?
Yeah, fuck you. Get out of my house. I'm going to bed. It's fucking late. Come on, Junior. Apparently,
Ignore
even the
these
other
guys.
one, I don't. Yeah.
Fart at them and ignore them.
I fart in your general direction.
You really had to call that out.
Yes, I did.
Your mother was a hamster.
Your father smelled the elderberries.
I fart in your general direction.
God damn it. Welcome to the Paranatural Podcast, folks. Stories about farting, flying monsters, and Monty Python references. That's what we do here. So anyway, later on that day, it was reported that, quote, a force of men has been set to work to barricade the mouth of the mine, end quote.
A force of men.
A force of men. So pretty much all the guys that were shooting at it and went, oh, fuck, we can't kill this thing. Brick it up. They just bricked over the mine entrance. You can find it to this day. But
The mine?
The mine entrance. But it's been that way so long, like closed up so long, that it looks like more of just a depression in the side of a hill than anything else. But yes, it's still there. You can still go there. You can still visit some of the buildings that were around in 1903 in Van Meter, Iowa. Mm-hmm. And the story was actually like largely forgotten about for a very long time, until these two guys started like investigating it. And now it's kind of a thing. They had a festival for it and everything else, but it was like it happened and then it was forgotten about for quite a while.
How do you forget about something like that?
I gotta imagine a lot of people probably didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like the guy he wrote a book about it. I can't remember the name of the book or anything, but I did read an interview that he did. And he said that pretty much like when they went there to investigate this, they started asking around. Now, granted, it had been, 100 years. Only a few people even knew what the fuck he was talking about. And the ones that knew, they were like really open about it. They're like, yeah, this is, the story my grandma told me or whatever. But it wasn't like a huge thing after the fact.
See, I mean, I guess back then, like, you ain't going to be famous for being crazy.
Right.
So the fact that so many people had this happen and then all respectively shut up about it.
I mean, did they shut up or did they just like go, okay, this was a fucking thing that happened and okay, moving on now?
Yeah, that's true. I guess when something happens here, I just tell Derek, and that's the end of it. I wait for the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's like the whole town, if like they talked about it in some of the more local newspapers. But you're talking about 1903. This wasn't a time when you could travel, however many hundreds of miles to go monster hunting in Van Meter.
Yeah.
Cars existed, but they weren't common. You're talking about horseback and fucking buggy and shit.
Yeah.
I-80, which runs north of the town now, didn't exist back then. And, people just didn't really give a shit as much what happened in the next town.
Yeah.
You would have opened the paper and went, huh, that's fucking weird. And then moved on with your life. So the 400 people in town, it might have been a big deal for a little while. But then what? They tell their kids and their kids are like, oh, okay.
Neat.
Neat. Cool. Whatever.
A farting pterodactyl.
I would like
Nice.
to get the money together to go dig up the old mine and see if there's something in there.
Oh, that would be wicked. I mean, I guess if it's bulletproof, maybe it's age proof.
Maybe. I mean, it was a pterodactyl looking fucking thing.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
what's another 100 years as opposed to the millions of years since they've been here?
Right? Yeah, who knows? But anyway, the other reason it probably kind of died out was because there was not another reported sighting for like 80 years.
80?
80. So apparently their bricking it up thing worked, but eventually one found its way out or something.
It's been digging for so long it found an old pickaxe.
So in the 80s, a man who, there was no names for these next sightings, a man who had just moved to Van Meter and had never heard the story, because like I said, it pretty much died out, but he'd never heard the story, was walking near where the old mine entrance was, like he was hiking up that way, when a 5-foot-long bat-like creature flew over his head.
5 foot long.
5 foot long. So it was a little
Junior made it out.
Junior. Wee baby one. Wee baby one.
Just a wee lad.
Around the year 2000, a family was driving home to Van Meter when they saw a giant bird-like creature laying dead alongside the road.
Oh?
The patriarch of the family dropped his family off at home and then went back to check it out, but whatever it was already gone.
It was playing possum.
So, fellas, ladies, and gentlemen, never go back. If you see a dead monster alongside the road, you investigate immediately. Okay?
We got cell phones now. Take a picture.
Right. Take a picture, take a wing, okay? Take a leg, get a drumstick. Do
Take
something.
a face.
Take the whole head, something.
Just not the stink gland.
Right. Leave that in place, but, take the headlight, take the horn, take something, okay?
Everyone travels with a saw. You can take the horn.
Yeah. Just strap it to the roof rack or something. Put it in the trunk, whatever you gotta do.
Honestly. You can Febreze your car later. Just throw it in there.
Right. You can get a new car with the money you'll make with the dead monster.
No shit.
Okay. Now, in the year 2006, a pastor was waiting for a friend in the nearby town of Colfax, Iowa, when he spotted a quote-unquote dragon flying overhead. He got home and Googled Iowa dragon and found a picture of the thing he had seen, which was a drawing of the Van Meter visitor. In 2014 and 2020, there were reports of giant birds in nearby towns.
So they moved.
Just flew, I think. If you got big ass wings, you can fly quite a ways.
Right. And, I don't think pastors are supposed to believe in dragons, so.
There's dragons in the Bible.
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh.
St.
Never
George
mind
or
then.
whatever, kill some dragons or something. And then I know in what's the apocalypse book? Revelation?
Yeah.
They talk about dragons.
Well, yeah, they talk about dragons coming.
Well, if they're coming, then they have to be here, and somebody has to be giving them a good handy J. Sorry. I'll be good.
Yeah, I never heard about dragons in church.
No, you went to the wrong. You didn't go to the fun church then.
No, I went to Methodist.
Yeah, that's the story of the Van Meter visitor. What do you think, Jacob?
I want to track it down. 2020 wasn't too far. It wasn't too long ago. Let's find us a giant bird.
There's actually, I want to do like a Thunderbird episode with sightings of
Yeah.
like giant birds, but this one's kind of special. It kind of stands alone
Yeah.
because it had a headlight.
I always love the stories where people are shooting at shit.
Yeah, I
Love
know.
it.
They're some of the most fun ones. And why is
They
everything
are.
always bulletproof?
Right. Like the Hopkinsville goblins. They were bulletproof, but they did find the fluorescent blood.
Yeah, and maybe this thing did, but they never saw any of it. I don't know. Because it flied away too quick. Doesn't fly away.
You gotta think Never mind. That was a stupid thought.
When has that ever stopped you before?
Well, this one's a really stupid
Oh.
thought.
So what do you think it was?
What do I think it was?
Yep.
That was Jeff. That was definitely Jeff.
Jeff. It's just a talking mongoose. It's fine.
Yeah, giant. I don't know. I've never, like, skunks will spray to keep stuff away, but, like, this thing's bulletproof. Why does it have to keep people away?
There's a lot of weird to this one.
Yeah.
Not just the emitting a stench, but, like, why does it have a headlight
It's got to see.
that it can turn on and off?
It doesn't have, what is that animals have where they can see in the dark? I don't know.
Just night vision?
Yeah, night vision. They don't have night vision goggles.
Afraid they're going to crash into a tree while they're flying. Then why would it be nocturnal? Oh, because it's got a headlight.
It's got a headlight.
So the headlight makes sense if it lives in a mine, in caves underground, but then it doesn't have wings. You can't fly in a fucking mine.
Why do bats stay in there then?
They come out, though.
So does this, apparently.
Okay, good point. But then why has it got a headlight?
So it can see in the mine. You think it's living right at the entrance? It's got to be in there a ways.
And how did it get in there?
It flew.
God damn it, Jacob.
Jeez, Ben.
Like, it's just confusing. I don't understand it. Where did this thing come from? Did it come out of the mine? Like, did they accidentally dig these things up?
I don't know. Maybe that mine is connected to Mel's hole.
Maybe they hit a pathway into the underground, the hollow earth.
We've all watched Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Well, fuck. I guess we solved it, didn't we?
Yep.
The coal mine accidentally, like after they quit using it, like a cave collapsed and opened up into the hollow earth.
Yeah, that's it's a
Mystery
weird
solved.
story. Yeah.
Well, and there were so many like respectable, trustworthy witnesses.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the town doctor is not going to be like, look, there was a fucking bat-like monster outside my window and I shot at it and it flew away and it has a headlight. Because you're not going to go to that doctor anymore.
Right.
You're going to be like, that doctor fucking crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of Scooby-Doo about this episode, but what I liked that wasn't Scooby-Doo-ish is they didn't split up, gang.
No, and nobody got captured. Except the monsters.
Daphne.
The monsters got Daphne. Fucking Daphne. Why they always let her go by herself?
I don't know.
But yeah, that's the Van Meter visitor.
It's a weird story.
It is a weird story. I want to start the year off with a nice, simple, weird one.
I like it.
You know, it's not a long story. There's not a lot to it, but it's a good story.
I like it. I can't wait to see the pictures of this thing.
Yeah, I'll get those up in the Facebook after I post the episode and everything else.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and
Neat.
gentlemen, if you have enjoyed this episode or any of our episodes, then, like I said, give us a 5-star rating and review and tell a friend about the show. Anything to add, Jacob?
No, I don't.
All right, beautiful. Welcome to 2023, everybody. Yeah, I almost forgot what year it was. And we'll see you next time. And until then, thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. Good night.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Love you. Goodbye.